back everyone to the Robert Center here in Wilmington, Ohio for the FargoRate Ohio Open. We are ready for our next match here, an amazing matchup between Chung from Chinese Taipei and Sanjin Pehlivanovic from Bosnia. My name is Tim de Ruyter, and with me in the booth is an incredible player himself, Darren Appleton.
How you doing? Yeah, thanks Tim, thanks for having me. Got a great matchup here, coping Chung. I'm not even going to try and pronounce Sanjin's last name. I'm going to leave that to you.
Pehlivanovic, yeah. That's tough. We can say Sanjin. I think
okay.
he won't mind.
We actually call him the voice, because he never used to really speak, so we just called him the voice, like a little bit sarcastic. But really had a good season, Sanjin. Had a lot of big finishes. I believe he won a big tournament. Was it the European Championships?
European Championships in 9-ball, I think. Yeah, after he lost that final to Joshua,
yeah,
the heartbreaking final in Turkey.
Yeah,
he came back and win it.
Well, that's the character of the guy. Obviously, still very young, so it shouldn't have no massive scars. But obviously, he learned from that. It's made him stronger. So that's a good thing. Where there's some people what can maybe let that affect them long term. So that just shows his character. Really likable guy from Sarajevo. We've been there. I was there like in 2010. Nice country, nice people, and I know they'll all be tuning in for this match, especially his father.
Yeah, and on the other side, we've seen Chung a couple matches ago where he lost. So this is a losers bracket match.
Yeah, there's a lot of tough matches on the losers section straight away. I mean, probably this is the toughest field I've played in the Predator series so far. I think cost us only 64, but all the players are back traveling, especially all the Asians. And there's a lot of Europeans here. Probably not so much Americans, which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I think it also had to do with the venue is quite small, so the field is limited to 64 players, and people were just probably too late signing up. And that's why next time, if you want to be in an event like this, make sure you book everything 2-3 months before, because you're gonna miss out on some great stuff.
Yeah, I tried to sign up for this tournament about 3 months ago, and it was full. Luckily, I was on the waiting list and managed to get a spot. So very tough kick here. Can't see the natural angle from the 7 because it's too close to 7. So he's got to put a lot of spin on the cue ball.
Ooh. Came very short.
Yeah.
On the 1.
I guess he was just trying to miss a 10 on the top side and then hit the 1 that way, but that looked really difficult. Unless you just slightly miss hit the cue ball completely, because it's hard to believe he's trying to just miss a 10 on the top side and hit the 1. I don't think that was possible.
Yeah, it would be tough, and he was always going to leave something as well if he hit it that way.
Yeah, maybe a slight miscue there.
So nice start for Sanjin here.
Yeah, and it's so important in these matches. You really want to win the first set, don't you? It just takes that little bit of pressure off. Because this format is very cutthroat. You're never comfortable and you never really get to settle down. Every rack feels like a final rack. So there's pressure all the time. So I guess that's the good thing about the format and for the viewers at home. Yeah,
I heard Mika said the same thing. He said it really makes sure that all the players, they really make sure they're sharp. Because, in the long races, you can zoom out for a little bit, maybe lose 2 or 3 games and still be in the match. If you do that here, it's close to being over.
Yeah, and with this format, even if you're having a bit of a nightmare, you're still always in the match, really. It only takes 1 or 2 racks just to get back in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slightly over at this ball.
Yeah.
I think he played bad shape to the 2 ball. I'm pretty sure he didn't play for to land that high. So now he's chasing his tail a little bit here. I think it does cut though, right?
Yeah, I think it low left, go to the bottom rail and come back up.
So you're not playing, you're just commentating?
Just commentating, yeah.
You're very wise.
No, I mean, people say that I'm doing a good job, so I guess I should stay with whatever suits me.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a little bit less pressure from here.
Oh, yeah. But still, I also like to watch pool, and especially this week, we've had a couple great matches so far already. We had Catchy on the TV table, Sanchez Ruiz, Albin, Victor Zielinski, so.
Yeah, every match is going to be, could be a final, really.
Yeah, nice friendly bump on the 7, could be a little bit worse, and he's back on track here.
Yeah, he'll just punch this ball in off the top rail now. Played a follow here, touch of left. He could have played a soft punch, but that's his preferred way to play that shot. Yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't really like the way he played it, because you can get the wrong side of the 6, and with that 9 ball being there, it shouldn't be a problem, but if you've been super critical.
Yeah, you like to be on the other side to make sure you don't have to run into balls or super draw your way out.
Well, I think he's okay. He's come far enough where I think he can just not even use a rail.
Yeah.
So I play a simple 2-rail shape here, leave a nice little angle on the 8 ball again. So it's one of those racks here where you're just trying to get the center of the table all the time. For all you amateurs at home, just keep the game simple. If you get the right side of the balls, the game's a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think he's got quite straight on this 8. Might have to shoot, might have to go for the short side of the 9.
Yeah.
Or he was looking to maybe still draw over to the center, which I don't really see a big reason to.
Yeah, the good thing in his favour here is that the 9 ball's very close to the 8, so he has multiple options. Sometimes that can be a bad thing. Start overthinking a little bit. Well, he's got a nice angle here on the 9. I'll probably come across table for the 10 in the bottom left. So just play this with a touch of left, I believe.
Yeah, not too much. You don't want to get too low on the 10. Rather be too high than too low.
Yeah, good speed.
And this is to take the first game in this opening set. Sanjin Pehlivanovic from Bosnia takes the lead over Chung. Co-brothers have been struggling a little bit here. All took a loss very early in this tournament.
Yeah, and it's easy done. I mean, I lost yesterday to Kang Lee in the shootout. Should have really won the match in regulation time, but I dogged it in the shootout. So it can happen. I mean, you're probably looking at 30, 40 players, I think, can win this tournament with this format. So
yeah,
there'd be a lot of people in the tournament thinking they've got a chance. I think it's one of those tournaments where you're thinking, well, you're not sure how you're going to do. You just play and then just see how it evolves.
So if there was one thing you would like to see different in this format, what would it be?
I spoke to the guys many times. I think for me, I think they should have best of 3 sets, but play races to 3. Because the 2 races to 4, you could potentially play 14 racks. But if you play best of 3 sets, race to 3, that's a potential of 14 racks also. But at least now you've got a chance to avoid the shootout a little bit more. Because the only
and then go to a shootout.
Yeah, then if it goes 2-2 in the final set, then have the shootout. That's my only slight criticism, is that there's probably too many shootouts.
Yeah, I agree. But on the other side, I like the concept of the shootout. A lot of players told me that they like it. It's just tough for the players themselves. I mean,
to be honest, if it was 10 years ago, I'd probably like it also.
Yeah.
But when you're getting older, it's not so good.
Oh, a straight scratch in the corner.
But for the young guys, I'm guessing they sort of revel in the shootout.
Yeah, not a great break here. Drew the cue ball straight back.
Yeah, I mean, if he tried to do that, that's very difficult, right? So the viewers at home are thinking, oh, that's a terrible break. He probably, obviously, he's got into the cue ball too much. But if you actually tried to scratch in that top corner, it's quite a difficult shot. So it's maybe a touch unlucky, but at the end of the day, the cue ball shouldn't be heading in that direction.
Yeah.
So Chung, one of my favourite players, been around a long time. I remember playing him in 2008 or 9. I think he was like 16 or 17, and I thought, who's this kid? And he was a monster then. I thought, this kid's future world champion. I believe he is world champion, 10 ball. Had a lot of big finishes in world championships, semi-finals, US Open recently. I think he was leading 8-2 against Max Lechner in the semi-final. I mean, that's going to sting. I don't care who you are. If you're leading 8-2 in a race to 10, you're supposed to win 9 times out of 10. He's going to win that match, so that's going to hurt. So he missed a great opportunity there to get to the final and maybe win the US Open. So
quite surprised to see him run into that 8 ball.
Yep.
Doesn't make things a lot easier from here.
Yeah, very careless.
Probably playing a safety here. I mean, if he wants to go aggressive, he could bank the 2 ball maybe.
Yep.
And get some cover, but.
Yeah, he's got maybe, 6 balls to get behind here? Get the 2 towards sort of the 5, the cue ball behind the purple 4 and the green 6. I have to remember my colours again, because we are playing a different tournament, what we just recently played, so the ball colours change again.
yeah, it's life of a pool player is not always that easy.
Yeah. But these are my favourite set. I don't just say that because we're here. but the Arcadia balls are my favourite balls. These are the balls what I do practice with at home.
Ooh. Well, still a good shot. Got the cover and.
Yeah, it's never easy shot to control when you're using the bridge, that type of shot, and that showed there. So got away with one there. You can hit this 2-ball 1 rail just coming past the purple, but
there's a big scratch too.
It's a big scratch. He'd have to hit this ball perfect to make it off the free.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he hits it in the face, he's a big favorite to make the 3.
But looking at the table, there's no choice. He could actually jump it if he can see full ball from where the cue ball is. But I think he's going to play rail first.
Well, I might like to jump, yeah.
Yeah, if I could see the angle from
also,
behind
just to make sure I don't scratch anyways, just jump with low spin, some draw. You might hit it with some speed. Oh, we got too short, and
I feel like it caught the bump or something there. The cue ball sort of did a little bit more than I expected. I'd like to see a replay there. Did he catch the point of the side pocket or something? Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's one of the reasons, yeah.
Because he's confused himself thinking, how's that? But he just caught the top side of the side pocket and that just threw it a little bit wider.
Yeah, so another opportunity, ball in hand for Koping Chung. Didn't get on the 2-ball earlier this game, but outmoved Sanjin to get another shot. And here we go. Shouldn't be too tough, maybe from the 4 to the 5. And travel back down for the 6, that could be a little trouble.
Yeah, still not easy out, just like you said. The 4 to the 5 is a little bit tricky. So this is the key shot to the rack, really, at this level. So he's going to, would imagine he's going to try and draw between the 6 and the 7.
Yeah, could he maybe?
Follow would be okay if that 10 ball wasn't there, but yeah, I think that 10 ball's a big ball, so I don't think he wants to mess around with that.
Yeah, but this is a small gap too to go in between.
He hit that beautiful. It's hard to explain to viewers at home how he just strokes that ball there. He didn't play like a normal draw shot. It's like a little punchy draw shot. Just throws the cue ball a little bit forward before it comes back. And that's where the top pros are. They're so good at that type of shot.
Oh, it's interesting to see. He didn't play with low left to go for the 6 in the side. He just went up and down for the 6 in the corner. And from here, not really much more work to be done. Of course, he has to travel down back table for the 10, but there's a lot of angles he could get on the 9 to get there.
Yeah. All 3 of the Coes, all very likable guys. I mean, 2 of them obviously are proven winners. The other one's up and coming. I believe he played. Did he play on the stream yesterday?
Yeah,
I think
he
played
lost in the
Petri,
shootout.
right?
Yeah, where he had the chance to win too. He was playing great.
Yeah, it's nice to see Petri back playing because I'm a big fan of his game. I feel like he's underachieved slightly. I know he's had some good tournaments in the past, but I think he's a lot better than what he thinks.
He could have won more, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got one of the best breaks in the game. I always remember his 9-ball break was amazing.
So back to center of the table here.
Yeah, and every time when he's played, they've more or less all got the same stroke. It's just perfect timing of the cue ball. They don't power the ball. It's just all timing and tempo. So just watch how he go. The way he accelerates through the cue ball, and that's the key. He'll bring the cue back, the tip back to where his hand is, and then follow through at the same amount of distance, just like that. Perfect finish. And that's where I think they really excel.
Yeah, different kind of technique than we usually use in Europe. We're more like snooker base a lot more.
Yeah, I do try and teach like more or less the same stroke what he's doing there. Just get that timing and tempo right.
Yeah.
Because once you start delivering and accelerate through the cue ball, it just makes controlling the cue ball a lot easier. Because when you see amateurs trying to draw the ball back, they've rather got their hand too far away or too close, and they end up stabbing the ball a lot, and they're hitting the ball instead of stroking through the cue ball. So watching these guys, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, referee John Lehman from New York wrecking the Predator Arcos II balls with the Predator Arrow rack for Koping Chung to break the balls.
Yeah, probably the most the hardest working referee in the world. He travels all over the world refereeing, and a big character as well.
Yeah,
very likable guy. And there's a lot more people here today, I've noticed that. We've got the amateur championships to our right, and there's a good few hundred people here.
Yeah, 57-foot apex tables by Predator for the amateur Ohio championships here. Expecting 140 teams this week.
Madness, isn't it?
So it's gonna be packed, which I really like. Also for the pro players too, really get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, there's the atmosphere is different when there's a big crowd. You know what I mean? And there's quite a lot of people watching. It's very intimate in this arena. It's quite small, so that can be a good thing sometimes. And I believe, obviously, Predator, the Apex table, they're also, obviously, the Met bar tables now. And, yeah, I believe in Las Vegas at the BCA, that will be all Predator tables. So, big changes. Predator making big moves along with CSI. I think they've got a great partnership, great for the industry, great people. And they promote the game, and they give a lot back to the game.
Yeah, 3-ball was a little problem.
Interesting.
Played this very nice. Did he just nudge it to not make it, or can he still make it?
Yeah, he's okay.
The only way to make the 3 was being on the short side, so played an excellent shot there.
Yeah, great positional shot.
So now he's looking to not do too much with the cue ball, just stun over a diamond, a little bit closer to the center of the table. Doesn't want to get straight on the 4 because that's going to be too tough. Just a little stun, and then leave himself a nice 2-rail angle on the 4 to travel to the 5.
Yeah, took his medicine, that's what we say, right? Not trying to be too clever and get too close, and he's probably left it perfect anyway. So we play 2 rails here, coming between the 5 and the 6.
Yeah, speed is a big part here. So a lot of ways where he could get a little ugly on the 5. If he gets that straight perfect on the 5, that would be ideal. It's just because he's crossing his positional area here, so needs to make sure he has a nice speed. Doesn't want to go too far to the short rail.
Yeah, and it's a big shot. It's very missable, this shot, especially on this brand new cloth, brand new conditions. It's easy to undercut or overcut the ball here. So you've got to real trust it. Just slightly overcut it, and that's why he's going to flick this 5. But he's okay.
Yeah, we'll see him probably travel a little bit more on the 5. Here we see the 4 ball, got that a little bit thin. And might have to go just stun right, go straight to the short rail and come back up to the center of the table.
Yeah, it's too dangerous to go around the back of the 10 with that 9 ball there as well. And I'm not too sure that's a natural angle anyway. So I think you've called it. No, he's played inside.
Played inside, okay.
Played it beautiful. Yeah, you've got to be feeling really good to play that shot, and he executed that perfect.
Yeah, and he also has been looking quite good after the break. He's been making a 1 in the side, and
yeah, his last break was really good.
Just stun over to the short side. And
interesting that he still uses master chalk. So I noticed there was a big blob of blue chalk on the cue ball. There isn't many players using the master chalk these days. No disrespect to it, but obviously there's chalk out there now what just keeps everything nice and clean, which eliminates a lot of skids. What chalk are you playing with?
Master.
Oh,
yeah. It's funny that you mention it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the only problem I have is the round chalks.
Yeah.
Because you drop them, they go everywhere, and I don't sometimes always cover the whole tip. It's like, it's my only thing. That's why I stay with square chalk for now.
But you could like put it into a square block, or like me, put it in your pocket. But yeah, I'm more like the snooker mentality, I guess. Put it in the pocket.
So Koping Chung takes the lead 2-1, and we'll go for a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the FargoRate Ohio Open. Chung is leading 2-1 over Sanjin Pehlivanovic and is breaking here, rack number 4. One ball got kissed up and almost made the 7 and the 6, but stayed up.
Yep.
And in this format, we're playing 2 races to 4, and if they tie 1 each, that means we're going to a shootout. And in the Pro Billiard Series rules, we do play with early 10 balls. So that means if you hit the lowest numbered ball on the table and call the 10 ball and you make the 10, you win the game, which could be happening right here.
Yep. I had 2 yesterday, but it was not easy. But yeah, I do like the combos. I had to ask if it counts, because I know there's some rules out there where it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it opens up for more creativity in the game.
Yeah,
we need interesting shots and things that people can speculate on a little bit more.
Yeah, my second set, I made the 10 ball on the break, and I thought I won the game, and I didn't. So on the break, it does respawn.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think he's called a 10 and can play 2-way, also bring the cue ball back up. Oh, and he's hung it. This is a big swing. I mean, 2 each or 3-1, because this carom is a lot easier than the shot Sanjin just had.
Yeah, it wasn't easy combo.
No, the combo was tough, but the carom now for Chung, very makeable.
The only thing you've got to be careful here is to follow the cue ball as well. So it looks like he's got to play it with some speed here. Might play high on the cue ball, or maybe he can punch into it. Not too, yeah, he can play low. So
yeah, if he goes real first as well, he should be fine.
Yeah.
Just like that, and he takes 4th game. He's up 3-1, and after a good start from Sanjin, we haven't really seen him much.
Yeah, I think with that combination, I think he played the cue ball as well, which don't really make any sense. And I think he didn't commit to just making the ball no matter what happens after that. He was thinking, oh, maybe if I miss it, I can leave the cue ball safe as well. I think that situation, you just got to go for it. Like, just play it slow.
Yeah, especially you don't want to butcher a hit just because you want to have the 10 ball go out. It's either you go for it or... I mean, he could have played safe if he didn't like it enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy mistake what he made. I mean, we've all done it. So that's why you could probably have a good opinion on it, because obviously I've made the same mistake myself, and I think, why didn't I just go for it 100%? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of 2-way shots all the time, where I'm now also thinking, like, I got to just either go or play a good save. Don't do the in-between stuff.
Yeah, and especially this day and age, because everyone's so good with your jump cue and everything else, you never really feel safe, really, unless you completely lock them up.
Yeah. Oh, it's another dry break, and left Sanjin straight in on the 1. So last call for this set, I would say. Yep.
And this is a good thing. You're never out of the set. Win this game, you got the break, 3-2, game on again. And that was a good break. It just didn't make one.
Yeah, 1 ball came up a little high. Might want to maybe cut the 1 a little bit more next break.
Yeah, I think people have been wondering why a lot of guys are breaking from the side rail, and the reason why, because it's not easy to rack the balls, and so yeah, it's not easy to get a ball on the breaking from the centre, and breaking from the centre. If you do come dry, you're probably pretty sure that you're going to leave an easier layout if you leave your opponent a shot. With the side rail break, you can make the 1 in the side. So that's what the guys are really targeting, to try and make the 1 ball in the side pocket. And also, if you don't make a ball, you feel like you've more chance of the balls coming out a little bit tougher.
Yeah, if you can see the 5, 6, 8, like there's always something like this on the table when breaking from the side, which is not from the center. Yeah. So a little draw here to the other side of the 3. And then I seen him look at a possible 5-6 combination, which looks quite tough from the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it goes. Yeah, I think it does. Which makes a big difference, because that 5 would have needed moving, or get on the 5 for the bottom left, which is very difficult from where the purple 4 is.
Well, and doesn't want to be bridging over the 7.
Yeah, that just changes the whole complexion now.
Yeah, that's bad news.
I mean, you can still make this ball and maybe get back up to play the 5-6, but this shot's just become 5 times more difficult than what it was if that cue ball's just an inch to the right.
Yeah.
And it happens so often where you just get jacked over balls. And when you're cueing down on the cue ball and you can't see the object ball and the cue ball in your high line, it's very difficult. And he has to commit to his line here, and then on his backstroke, make sure you keep your eyes on the cue ball. Very beautiful.
Oh, hit that good. Just needs to get behind. Yeah. Make sure he didn't get behind the 10. And well, he wasn't happy. He was probably trying to get a little bit more straight on the 5-6 combination, but on the other side, he might be able to still make it and run the cue ball into the 8 maybe.
Yeah, might even just be able to miss the 8 and then have the 5 in the top left. We'll see. Yeah, it looks a bit of a nervy shot, but I don't. Yeah, this is where things become very difficult. So you're not sure now.
Might lose the 5 ball too.
I mean, this has got to be executed really good, and that's
well,
a problem.
Look at the 5 ball. Well, it's just good
he
enough.
He actually probably played that as good as he could play it, really.
Yeah, I would be scared that the 5 ball would move too much to the short rail, but he played at good speed and he's left himself actually the perfect angle to come back down for the 7 in the side.
Yeah, that's pretty well controlled.
And I guess I would play for the 7 in the side. Could do a lot of different stuff. Looks like he's playing with outside, running into the 7. Well, didn't expect him to do that, and no, still needs a couple of good shots here.
Yeah, he'll take it though. I mean, that could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like to go 3 rails here.
Yeah.
I mean, could go either way. You can go back, but I like the inside because it's easier to have the thin hit. And you're always going to run towards the 8.
Yeah, I think it's a personal thing on that type of shot. Yeah. Yeah, some guys prefer to play it the way he just played it. Some might want to spin it 3 rails, like you say. I think it depends on your own type of stroke and what you feel is your strength, I guess, in that type of situation. I mean, for example, the shot you've just mentioned, the best player I've ever seen at that shot is Ruslan Shinihov. I've never seen anyone spin the ball 3 rails as good as him, even at distance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see Ruslan Shinihov back on the scene soon. I mean, I know he's back in Russia, so if you're watching, pal, I hope to see you somewhere down the road.
Yeah, another player that doesn't really show up much lately, and sad not to.
Yeah, obviously in the world what's happening right now, I'm guessing he's restricted still. Hopefully this stuff passes sooner or later.
Yep. So Koping Chung still up 3-2, but at least Sanjin is getting back into the set a little bit, and it could make a big difference if he has a good break here.
Yeah, it's quite funny looking at him there. I mean, I just remember him being like 8, 9 years old when I first met him. He had long blonde hair, and he was very cheeky. It reminded me of a young Jason Shaw when I first met Jason Shaw. Talking to Jason Shaw, won a big match yesterday. Absolutely drilled Shane Van Bonen. I think 120 to 80 in a challenge match. I know Jason's been playing good for quite a few months, but hasn't been getting the results. Well, that's the game.
Yeah, eventually, you know, it happens. We have a nice reflection of the Predator Arena lights and the balls.
Yeah,
my
the
favorite
logo.
view.
The logo on the balls are sick.
There we go. Breaking from the side. Let's see. Is he able to make the 1 in the side and beat the kiss from the 4-railer on the 2?
Nice break.
Well, the 1 ball got kissed away and made the
We
4.
got one. And that happens a lot. You see a lot of balls, random balls dropping last second, which hurts for your opponent, but great for you.
Yeah, caught them a little bit thin.
Yeah, because Coyle have been just about getting ready to get out of his chair, and then all of a sudden that purple drops. Like a little, but he's got a tough run out.
I mean, does have a shot on the 1. I think he just has enough to make the 1. But I seen the 3, 6, 7 didn't look too great.
Yeah, he's got options, and if he gets at the angle on the 2, he can go into the 3. If he don't, then he can play a good safety. Yeah, I feel like his stroke's a little bit better than what I remember last year. He's a little bit less static on the shot than what he was before.
Yeah, it's a little bit more smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, has a nice angle. He could, not sure if that 3 ball goes. He's having a look at this. He could either run into them. He could draw into the 3 ball if he likes to.
Yeah.
And otherwise he could, if he doesn't really want to go attacking mode, he could bank the 3-ball out 3 rails and stick the cue ball between the 7-6.
Definitely.
Couple options.
Yeah, it depends how you're feeling here. I think he'll feel like he's going to commit. Yeah.
Oy.
And he probably the only reason why he's missed that ball because he was thinking about the cue ball. So he's probably took his eye off the object ball slightly, thinking about the cue ball, and that's what's because if he just had to make that ball and nothing else, he'd never miss that shot.
Yeah. Yeah. So unexpected miss, and well, there might be another carom here on the 10.
Yep. Or again, he could play your shot, draw behind the 7 maybe. If he can get the 2 up table. But
oh, he's called the 10-ball. And also, if he doesn't make the 10, the 2-ball is always going to be close to the 6-7-3, so he's not going to sell out. It's a free chance, basically.
Yeah. So he's called the 10 here?
Yeah.
Or is he just playing the carom?
Yeah, playing the carom.
He might even, he might even just, get the 2 safe anyway, that's the key.
Yeah. Like the 2, it was always going to be in a kind of good zone there.
And I think that's turned out pretty good, So I don't think he can bank it, and he can't bank it and leave the cue ball next to the 3, because I think the 2 will be kissing the 3.
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty good with how that 2 ball's landed. That could have been a little bit worse. Give Sanjin more options, let's say, but.
Yeah, I think his best shot might be hitting the left side of the 2, shooting it into the 3, leaving the 2 there, and get the cue ball 3 rails behind the 10, which is tough on the sliding cloth.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Yeah,
he decided to do just the basic.
Yeah, when the cue ball's so close to the rail also, it's so difficult to play that shot, what you said, as you know, and so he just took his medicine there. Well, it'll be interesting to see what he plays here. He might play the same shot back, take a risk. Don't really see the bank as a good option. He can't get shape on the 3. Yep, so he's took that risk and he's played it really well. Because he could have easily overdid that slightly and left a gap so he could make the 2, or leave a gap so it would have been an easy save. As it is, I don't think he could have played it.
Such a big difference if you leave that little piece or not.
Yeah, and I think here, I don't even think you can even see the 2 yet. I don't think he can. Well, he's looking to spin into it.
Rail first, maybe a lot of spin.
Yeah, he needs to play this well controlled, nice and easy. Let the spin take. Yeah, no, I didn't really like that shot.
There was not much that could go right on that shot too. The 2 was going to leak out, and the cue ball was never going to stay where it was going to hit the 2.
Yeah, he needed a lot of luck there. He needed the cue ball to hit the 7 full or something, or the 6 full.
Or the 6 full, yeah.
He was relying on a lot of luck there, really.
Yeah, a little aggravated here. He's not happy.
Yeah, he had a good chance there to get back in this set.
Yeah.
Now, Chung, what's he done here?
Oh, it might be a little bit too far. No, it's good. I mean, it's still tough. The cue ball is on the rail, needs to thin the 3 and hold the cue ball on the 5. So it's a more sensitive stroke.
Well, now you're just thinking, right, I've got to baby this ball in, so it just makes you a bit more nervy, because you're thinking, well, if it just slightly catches something and it rolls off, can lose its line, let's say. And there you go, he's slightly overdid the ball, so he's chasing again for no reason.
Might be just enough to cut the ball and go 3 rails probably, just short rails up and down.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be in this situation, that's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
So he's got to, this is thin. This is thin. He might not even play, he's not even going for this shot, right?
No, I think he might be playing safe, yeah.
Wow.
Looks like it.
I mean, Sanjin will just be so happy to come back to the table here.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain either. I mean,
and he's got a shot. Unbelievable. And that was a roadmap, really. I mean, all that to do was get half decent on the 3 and it was over.
Yeah, if he had the 3 to the 5, I mean, even if he hit that 3 ball well to go on the 5, then yeah, it would be.
Yeah, because if you look at the table, the 6, 7, 8, 9, they're all connecting perfect. I mean, you had nothing to do at all, just 4 stop shots.
Yeah.
So that's this is a little reprieve here.
So what do you think? Hit the right side of the 5 and bring the cue ball back down. Have the 5 behind the 8 and the 7.
Could do, yeah.
Or see banking and bringing the cue ball behind the 8.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a couple of options, hasn't he? It's sort of a free shot, so I'm hoping he takes advantage of it. I think he's called the bank, and look at this.
Nice two-way shot. I like it.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful control, beautiful speed.
And I especially like it because he should have already lost the game, so he took his chances because he should have. Koping Chung should have been out. So
Definitely.
and now he gets the reward.
Yeah, I mean, he's come to the table there, just shocked coming back to the table, and it just takes that little bit of pressure off, thinking, oh, I've got a free shot now. And he took advantage of it.
Yeah, nice. Straight back, and like Darren said before, this is just a couple stop shots. Little draw on the 9, but this is going hill-hill. Or at least we're expecting to go hill-hill.
Mm-hmm. All the players in the background there. All the great players playing. Our co-commentator Tony Robles against Gomez. I think Tony had a good win yesterday, I believe. Beat Abdullah, who's been in good form this season.
Yeah, started to play a little bit more. Felt like he didn't want to miss out on all these great tournaments around. That's what he told me. So. Last flashbacks left.
Yeah,
is what
Tony.
he said.
I remember playing him 15 years ago. He was obviously a class player.
But we'll go for a short break. We'll be right back. And welcome back here at the Roberts Center, FargoRate Ohio Open. Scores tied 3 each. Sanjin Pehlivanovic to break here against Koping Chung. With me in the booth here is Darren Appleton.
Yep, so 3-3. Been a bit of a bit of a strange set, really.
Yeah, back and forth a lot. Hit that really thin.
Yep.
A lot of balls again, 2 balls on the right center, close, and now the 5 to the left one, but
yeah, that's why I like this side rail break. Balls go a little bit scruffy. So yeah, he should be in a lot of trouble after this next shot.
Yeah, let's see. The 2 and the 7 are a problem, and that 4-9 does make a combination, but it's not straight in. So we'll see him probably get the cue ball behind the 4.
Yeah, it's not quite natural just to roll this. I think you might have to put like a bit of a really, like a little funny stroke where you go, yeah. See, yeah, I mean, it's worked out great. It was a lot easier than where it looked. I thought he might play like a little soft draw or something there.
Yeah, he did really spin the ball a lot there to catch the ball a little thicker to bring it behind the 4. If he didn't put all the spin on there, he was probably going to run into the 4. It's a big difference.
Yeah, and this rack's maybe got a potential to be a free foul.
Yeah, especially because I think Sanjin has to kick minimum 3 rails. Well, he could do 2, but I like 3.
Yeah, 3 rails.
Hit it from the back and send the 1 ball over to all the other balls and get lucky.
Yeah,
it's a tough hit though.
Yeah, he's got to really got to start this cue ball out really wide to it just past the side pocket, and it's difficult when you're slightly cueing awkward like this as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So you might lose his natural path.
Well,
He's played it really
Good
well.
hit. Is he going to hit a rail after? Yes, he does.
Great shot.
Oh, that's a super shot there.
And he doesn't really care that he's left him a shot on the one here, because he's just thinking, just make sure you don't give him ball in hand. He knows that he can't really get shape on the 2 anyway.
Yeah, you would love to see Koping Chung start here.
Yeah, I mean, there might even be a case for him not even trying to attempt the 1 ball in some situations. Yeah, he's sort of in a weird situation here, whether he does make the 1, and because there's no real angle on it either. So he might just hit this 1 ball fin, come back down table.
Yeah, put some right spin.
Yeah.
No,
he hit that good.
Well, on the other side now, he played a good position to play a good safety after.
Yep.
He can thin the right side and bring the cue ball probably in the top left corner in this view, behind the 3 and the 8.
Yeah, he struck that really well. I didn't think he had that much angle, but he executed it really well. Because he needed to get down table here, and he has. Like you said, he's got 3 balls to get behind.
Yeah, so 1 problem solved. 1 more to go on the 4, 5, 9. But this is a good safety. Also didn't leave the 1 rail kick from the bottom, which would have been a higher percentage to hit the 2. Yep. This way, kicking this way is not easy.
Yep. Yeah, all the natural paths are taken away here, the looks of it.
Yeah, might have to jack up low right and then make it real short.
Yep, so people at home, I think he's okay just before the side. But yeah, for people at home, sometimes you've got to be creative and create an angle. Wow. Oh, he hasn't played that. There's no way in this world he's played that. He's caught them.
He's caught the 9.
Look at this as well. It's come out perfect. What's he done here?
I don't know what happened there, but
really, what happened there?
He opened up the 9-4-5 and left him straight on the combo. I think he hit the 5 ball.
Really?
On the way there.
Oh,
he nudged the 5 and then off the point.
I mean, that would have been unbelievable, because I'm thinking, how's he hit the point there, and it's done that.
Yeah, and actually, like, even though he hit the 5 ball, it's a little unlucky to leave him straight in on the 4-5 combo.
Yeah, and that's the worst. But the bad news here is that I mean, that wasn't supposed to hurt him so much moving that 5, but it has. So this time, if he does get good shape from the 3 or the 4 to the 5, then he should be okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
not
again,
much.
A little bit tricky, 3 to 4.
Yeah. And now needs to stun in between the side pocket and the 7. Like this. Doesn't want to be queuing over the 4.
Yeah, too far. Makes life more difficult, and it's slightly hampered as well.
Yeah, I would like to play this probably with top, maybe a little right, but the right is going to curve because he's jacking up the cue, so that might get...
Well, this is like 2 or 3 times he's had ball in hand and played the first shot really poorly. Lost completely his line or his speed. So here, this shot just become twice more difficult than what it should have been.
I choose to run into the 6.
There you go.
Oh, wow. And I mean, it's just because he played a bad ball in hand.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the main reason.
It's unlucky, but he knows he shouldn't be nowhere near that 6 ball. And secondly, he shouldn't have been in that position where he could even allow that to happen. So Sanjin must be thinking this is Christmas.
Yeah,
he's been gifted these last 2 runs. Don't get me wrong, like, he played a great bank shot in the last game, but he should never even had a shot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, Koping Chung should have been out last game, and same here, so I would be delighted to get back to the table with this layout.
I mean, Sanjin won't believe
I mean, just going from the 6 to the 7 might cause a little trouble, but if you can get from the 6 to the 7 with a little angle, I would say you've got plenty of room to travel around.
Yep, still a bit of work to do with this rack, but he's got to be feeling very good inside.
So low left. Start off the rail, looks quite straight on the 6, maybe a small angle towards the 8, but it's perfect to leave himself the angle on the 7.
Yeah, young Ko will be sick if he loses this set. Because then now he'll only be playing for a spot shot, a shootout. Yeah, like I said, that first set's really big.
Ooh, and he also underhit this one. Now he's queuing over the 8, so this is not easy.
Yeah, there's a lot of twists and turns in this set, so it's not over now. I mean, he's got work to do here. He needs to play a really good positional shot here, because if he gets the wrong side of the 8, it's going to be difficult to get to that 9.
Let's call this extension, cueing over the 7.
Yep, and he's made this missable because of how he's cueing it.
Well, he was just going to roll this in and go to the other side. He's not going to take risks to play a tougher shape.
There you go.
And he's also moved a lot on that shot. He was, when the moment he hit the shot, he started moving.
Yes, he's blaming the beep on the clock there, but I think he...
No, I mean, the second he hit it, he started moving. You see, he already came up.
Yeah, he just used it as an excuse. But he put himself in that position to miss the ball. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And when you're jacking down on the ball like that, you've got to commit 110%. You're not going to get away with any sort of bad stroke.
Yeah,
if you can play that with a flat cue, then you can get away with a lot of things. But I mean, he probably can't believe what's happened here. This has been like drama. A lot of drama. At this level as well, I mean, it's unbelievable. Coe's made 2 or 3 mistakes. Well, I've probably never seen him made.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've seen them both play many times, and usually they don't struggle this bad. But
that's a big bounce there. Wow. He's smiling as well, because this is like he thinks nothing comes easy, does it? Because he would have loved to have been straight on this 9.
Yeah, straight would have been nice, and now when he plays low left, he might travel towards the 10 because the draw doesn't take.
Looks that way, yeah.
The cue was going to bounce off the rail first, and then the draw starts taking, so it's still a little tricky.
Yeah, it's very tricky. I think he
might have to play for the short side, but that's also risky with the scratch.
Yeah, let's see.
2 seconds.
Yeah, it could go wrong. But what about if you strike it as good as that?
Just in the last seconds, but he played it perfect.
Yeah, after what's happened in this set, I mean, that's probably the best shot he's played in the match.
Yeah, and he wins the first set 4-3. Koping Chung takes the first set 4-3 over Sanjin Pehlivanovic.
Yeah, it's like he's gave away the set, and then he's just been giving it back, and obviously Sanjin's the one going to the restroom now, thinking, what the hell have I just done?
He needs to leave the arena as soon as possible. That was, I mean...
And he's relieved, you see, and his face says it all.
No, he knows that he was lucky there. I mean,
so now he's like, he's happy. It's amazing. The emotions in this game is just unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's also one of the better things, like with this format, is that, you know, like it really brings up emotions in players, which usually like they can handle themselves when they're 6-2 up or like 8-4. They don't really care about that one mistake.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, it's a roller coaster for the players, but I love it to watch.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a spectator, it's great. Well, obviously, when you're out there, your emotions are up and down, and it's just like. But you just know you just got to stay in there because it's never over. Even if you lose a first set 4-0 and you're 3-0 in the next set, it only takes 1-2 mistakes, one little swing of the ball, and that's it. It just can turn very quickly. All of a sudden, you're in a shootout. And if you're in that position from, let's say, 4-0 and then you're 3-0 or 3-1 and you come back and get into a shootout, you're more confident than your opponent.
Yeah, agree completely.
So it's a very emotional format.
Here we have
an experience. Look at this. Beautiful.
Ohio Open State Championships run by CSI. CSI Leagues will also be running the Puerto Rico Championships. So if you are in for a great trip, great holiday, make sure you still sign up.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to most. Really.
There's still spots for singles and teams, so make sure you check out the website, play CSI Pool, and sign up.
Yeah, but the first pool tournament I played in Puerto Rico, I was there for one day one time on a cruise, and I thought, I'd like to come back here one day, and so I didn't think I'd be going back there to play a World Championship.
Yeah.
It is the World 8-Ball Championships. First time we'll have had the World 8-Ball Championships in a long time, probably 10 years I would think.
Yeah,
probably 10 years,
2010 or something.
Yeah, I think 10,
like
11, maybe 12 was the last one. I think Dennis Alcala won it.
Yeah, such a long time. I'm happy to see it back. And here we have a nice view. And we'll go for a really short break, but stay tuned for set number 2. we are back here. Ready for set number 2. Koping Chung is ready. Just came back from his break. I'm sure Sanjin will show up shortly to continue. Lost the first set 4-3, where it really went back and forth. Both players had their opportunities, and in the end, it was Koping Chung making a good shot on the 9 to travel to the 10. And yeah, it's just a crazy match so far. Good match.
Yeah, it's like an extended little timeout. I think he's on his way back.
Yeah, I can see him in the background. Here on the left, we can see the other 6 tables. Roberto Gomez playing Tony Robles. We can see young Riku Rompanen. He's playing against Albin Ocean. Must be a great experience for him too.
Yeah, one for the future. I did play him at the US Open. He didn't perform to where I know he can do. But yeah, he's definitely one for the future.
Yeah, and in the back I also see Alexa Pitselja from Serbia. Good player, nice guy. There's a lot of good players in here. Love to watch them. And Sanjin is back, and so are we. Let's go. Set number 2. Koping Chung the break again from the side. Almost made the 1. And maybe get lucky with the 4. No. Still not a nice starter for Sanjin.
Yeah, hit them pretty good. Maybe slightly overcut the break just a titch, but been super critical. It's just a tough break in general, really. Sometimes you think you've hit them not great and you make a ball. Sometimes you hit them good and you come dry. So what's he got here? Can he
maybe bang the 1 in between the 5-7 if he bet just to look for some cover? Oh, he went.
He's gone for the 10.
Or was he shooting the 1 off the 10?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but he might have left another carom on the 10 here.
Yeah, and it's amazing when you lose a set like he just done. I mean, he didn't really have any right in winning that set anyway, but he'll feel like he's like just thrown that set away. It's just weird roll of emotions, and then things can start rolling funny as well.
And okay, Koping Chung, he just grabbed his jump cue, but he called the 10, and I think if he hits the right side of the 1, he actually has a big chance to make it.
So he's going over the edge of the 2 because he can't see enough of the left-hand side of the 1 ball as he looks from where he's standing.
And he's choosing the jump cue instead of just to masse around the 2, because he really needs that speed to get off the 1, because he still needs to cut the 10. If you masse around, the cue ball is always going a little forward.
Yeah.
But caught the wrong side of the 1, and
that took a bit of a bounce. I've noticed this bottom short rail's bouncing a little bit more than the other rails. So whether the conditions have changed slightly in here today.
Yeah, I feel it's also a little bit more cold.
Yeah.
Like the temperature outside is more cold, so the table's starting to change slowly. I'm sure.
And it has worked in his favour there. That big bounce. Yeah, he definitely got a big bounce off this bottom short rail where he's standing now. I mean, that really took off. And it happens sometimes. Sometimes it's not the table, it's just the conditions, humidity, or it goes like Tim says, it gets a bit cold.
One fan on the one side and the other side doesn't have one, like stuff like that.
Because we see it in Vegas all the time. You go to Vegas, you got that aircon blowing. I mean, the rails start pinging like crazy. And then the next morning you wake up and they're playing nice and beautiful and nice and soft. And then later in the day they go back to playing really hard again. That's just the conditions themselves, not the actual table. So yeah, things are starting to roll against Sanjin now a little bit. And
well, the thing is also, I think he's playing a little bit more aggressive now, trying to just make something happen. Even though, I mean, it's not like he played horrible. Just the end of the second set was a little itchy. So if he just keeps playing the right shots, he'll get himself into the set.
Yeah, plays these shots really good. It's just accelerate through that cue ball. So nice with them type of shots. Because you see, right, when you're watching amateurs playing, they've got the tendency to just try and hit that ball too hard, or they overdraw it, or they underdraw it because of that reason, where these guys, they just time that ball so well. To just make sure they go through the cue ball.
Yeah, and
that's hours and hours of practice. That is just all on the practice table. And you can watch these guys on Instagram. They're all 3 of them. I think Billiard Brothers on their Instagram page. I think they've got like 1 million followers or something.
Yeah, no, they're like really pushing their social media, and they have plenty of different stuff. Like they show, like they'll teach, they'll do funny videos, trick shots. I mean, just fun stuff. You know, it's nice to watch. And I mean, I know a lot of players are trying to do it, but
Yeah,
These
I think
guys,
there's
of
too
course,
much of the trick shots going on though. These trick shots, I don't mind Venom because he's a trick shot guy, but when all these professional pool players are sort of gimmicking all these trick shots guys, I'm not a big fan, to be honest.
No, I like to see more videos of stuff you can actually use in a match.
Yeah,
Like that's to where people can
I
extend
think
their
leave
knowledge.
the trick shot guys to what they're good at, and we should be sticking to what we're good at.
Yeah.
More like tuition and just pull itself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're doing a good job. I like to watch it, and
Oh yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people in Asia love to see it too.
Oh, the Coe brothers. I mean, they're doing everything. I actually do watch their videos.
Yeah, so got a little bit more straight on the 6 than he was trying to.
Yep.
Might just have to go forward and take a somewhat longer 7 ball. As long as he just has a nice angle to get off the rail, that would be okay.
Again.
Oh, he tried to do a little bit too much, and
Yeah, tried to punch run through there and got into it a little bit too, maybe quick slightly.
yeah, this is a tough cut. This is not a gimme.
Yeah, no, but I have been for dinner with the Taiwanese quite a few times. They're quite funny and entertaining to be around. Even though their English is not great, there's one or two of them what do speak really good English out of the Taiwanese guys. So yeah,
Oh,
well,
he hit
nice
that
shot.
sweet.
Nice shot.
Just
Look
the
at that.
speed was a little high, but
Yeah, you're
I
never
think-
100% sure where the cue ball's going to finish after that shot.
yeah, you just gotta.
You have a good idea because of past experience, but obviously it depends how the rails are playing.
Yeah, so he's still got on the other side of the 8. I think he can still go top spin. If he makes it with top spin, he's naturally going towards the 9, and so it's just make the shot. That's or is he playing low?
Yeah, might punch this in with a touch of right.
Oh, maybe not.
Come
Oh,
top,
he
short
probably
rail
felt
and
like
back
he was
down.
going to be too close to the corner and decided to play low, and
Yeah.
so, he made stuff a little bit more difficult on
Yeah, he
himself.
didn't really get the spin on the cue ball that he wanted to do. I think he was wanting to play with more right English, so it'd check up, like just come back more to the right hand side. But it's still a good execution. It's not an easy shot. But like he says, this needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, can he go around the 10 or can he still miss the 10? I don't think so. He has to go around it, I think. Yeah, oh, and he was probably so focused, so much trying to get around the 10 that he's missed the 9. And
Yeah, it's amazing how often you see that happen, though, isn't it? Because that 10 ball's such a big blocker mentally. He's just obviously it's just hard to just focus on one thing. Where really you should be telling yourself just make sure you make the 9 ball, and then whatever happens with the 9 and the cue ball afterwards, the 10 and the cue ball afterwards would take care of it. It's easy said and done. But he's left a tricky shot here.
Yeah, can choose to cut it either in the corner or the side. I think he's going for the side pocket, going 3 rails towards the 10. Is it that good? Is he going to the short side? He does. He played it extra rail and he's got nice on the 10.
Beautiful. And he
Little
really
gift from Coe.
He needed this run. Yeah, Coe's just he's definitely not in his game, that's for sure. He's playing some good shots and then making like silly mistakes.
But both players are.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Sanjin is striking the ball bad, but then sometimes it's just not there, you know, it's different. Yeah, so a little gift from Chung. And Sanjin, I mean, he really needs to get a couple games on the board early. I think if that would really help him out.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that this is going to go to a shootout. I think the first rack is big. I think that rack was huge for Sanjin. Because I think Coe's made the bigger mistakes, though. I think Coe's made the more crazier mistakes where I'm thinking how has he done that after how he's played in that particular rack? He's done a lot of good stuff, and then he's just made that big mistake where Sanjin's just been a bit careless. I think maybe twice. Well, I think that rack where he could have locked him up instead of trying to make the 2 and bump the 3 out.
Yeah.
So I don't think Sanjin's made terrible mistakes. It's maybe just some mental errors there. But Coe, he's made some execution mistakes,
and
like
also
speed control.
on the side, like if Sanjin, he lost his set, you could definitely see on his face that he was kind of broken on the inside. If he had lost his first game, then he would go even deeper into himself. So winning that first game in this set makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So let's see what he does on the break. Breaking from the side again.
Yeah, I would definitely say out the 2. I think Coe's probably the more experienced. Probably deals with setbacks a little bit better than Sanjin at this moment in time in their career. I'm not saying Sanjin won't be able to handle these situations better in the future. I'm pretty sure he will. But he's still growing in the game.
Yeah, Sanjin laughing about.
Great break though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a great break. The thing he's laughing about, like, oh man, the 10 ball again in front of the pocket.
And
But the
look at
weird thing is, it got kissed there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just pure random. It's funny that it ended up 2 games in a row, and he's going for this. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, there's a
it was a low percentage, and he's not leaving Sanjin some more after, so he's quite lucky. But he had to take the risk. Why not? He was not far off though.
Yeah, I mean, you probably make that, what, 4, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
If you're feeling great, I mean, if you're not feeling so good, it's a lot lower percentage. But yeah, I think with this format, I think you've got to shoot at that.
So might have to thin the left side of the 1. Maybe getting the 1 on the rail behind the 8 and bring the cue ball behind the 5, 6, 3.
Yep.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Just make sure you get the 1 on the rail. That might be nice.
I
hit
don't
that
mind
really
this shot
thin.
because of where the 2 ball is.
Well,
But I
he
don't
hit-
like where the 2 ball is now.
Well, he really, he really hit that 1 very thin. Like, I was not expecting him to leave it over the pocket.
Yeah, they should have
And-
made sure he got the 1 on the side rail, because even if he leaves a shot on the 1 ball then, it's very difficult to get from the 1 to the 2, because the 2 ball is where the cue ball is now.
Yeah.
Where now he's just left the table. He's left him easy.
I mean, still some stuff to do.
I'm not
Getting
easy,
on the 3
easy
is-
rack, but an easy starter to get shape on the 2.
Yeah, I mean, I can say it's nice to settle down 2 if you get this. Oh, he tried to get close to the 2. But he's done great, yeah.
So he might just keep life simple here and try and play for the free past the 8 into the bottom right. Because it's very difficult to get on the free for the same pocket as a 2. And that's not a gimme either.
No, there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong, especially on the new cloth. The cue ball does turn a little bit more forward sometimes. So needs to make sure there's enough spin on there and no top spin, because that would be curving away.
There's even
from
an
the
option to play rail first here and play for the free in the side or the top left-hand corner. But he's pretty good at these shots where you just play those little soft draws and bring it out just a couple of feet.
Well, he was just looking at going to the other side of the 3, which I think is quite tough. A lot of traveling, and there's a lot of stuff that could go wrong. Yeah, he played this
that's
way.
what I'm saying. Like, these guys they play that shot so well.
Yeah.
And that's a lot tougher than what you think, especially on these
yeah.
tables. I mean, these are so quick, it's unbelievable.
That's a lot of feel. Just look at the way how he struck the ball, too.
Went through the ball, you see. That's a huge difference. Committed.
Killed the cue ball, and, well, not perfect on the 3. Actually, unlucky to be in between. If he had a straight shot on the 3, he could follow. More angle, he could stun over.
Yeah.
Oh, and like I say, he was always going to run into the 5-6 if he played top spin, and well,
He's a character. He's like, he hasn't been too hard on himself. He's sort of laughing a little bit. But yeah, he's liable to make this shot. No, overcut it. Missed it on the pro side, but by too much, I think. Unless he's got away with it.
Oh, I think, yeah, he has.
So that's why we say miss it on the pro side. He sort of butchered that too much, and you got to say he's got fortunate there, really.
Yeah. Yeah, usually they miss it on the pro side, leave it around the short rail.
Yeah.
Now with so much speed, he's got luck in. I mean, there is a couple good things that could happen if you kick these 2 rails.
Yeah, I think
so?
he's going to try and 1 rail it and make it. Well, he might catch the second rail just before he hits it, but yeah, he has to go for this. Yeah, good speed hit. You want to make sure that if you don't make it, you got the right speed to leave no shot.
Yeah, you want to have the cue ball go around the table
Wow,
and
great
like
effort.
this.
He
Well,
hit that really good.
I like the speed,
Yeah,
but it's unlucky to find a kiss in the center of the table, because actually the speed was good.
yeah, and I think he was going to get away with it until that kiss. But he hit that nearly perfect, right? It's like an inch away from making that ball. And he's got very, very unfortunate kiss, you've got to say. Well, that's what happens, the pull gods. So you've got to say that the roll of the ball is definitely with Coe at this moment in time.
Yeah, momentum is really rooting for Chung at the moment, but it could really change any moment.
Yeah, it has done really, hasn't it, in the old match so far. It's hard to predict what's going to happen.
But I don't expect in this layout, if he plays a stop shot, maybe a little stun 1 ball more. Yeah, like this. Nice angle, like automatic on the 8 if he makes the 7, so the 8, 9, 10 are connected.
Yeah, the ball's not going in clean though. I've noticed that.
Yeah, and I expected him to be more straight on the A2, so I
Yeah,
do
so
feel there's quite some nerves in the arena.
Yeah, he's definitely not settled, has he? Even that one there, I mean, it has gone in, but he didn't hit it perfect. So his last 3 or 4 shots are all going side of the pocket, which he's not really trying to do. Maybe the 5 that he played it, maybe cheat the pocket a little bit to hold the cue ball, but yeah, definitely not on his top game, that's for sure.
But he ties to score 1 each. Chung from Chinese Taipei. All the Ko brothers here. It's nice to see them around in the US more too.
Yeah, it's just great to see the Asians back. People saying, oh, the Asians are back now, it's going to make life more difficult. To me, it's the other way for me. I think it just makes the tournaments a lot better. It makes it more of a challenge. And if you do win, you feel like you beat the best of the best, you know?
Yeah.
Because even though the Europeans have dominated most of the majors the last 10, 15 years, I still look at the Asians as the people to beat, which is, I guess it's just a European mentality. I guess we just respect them so much. They might think the same about us, like the Europeans. So yeah, I mean, Europe and Asia have just dominated. I mean, take Shane out of the equation. I mean, we've just completely dominated the world of pool for the last 15 years. Where obviously back in the old days, it was all America with the odd Asian, like or the odd Filipino.
Yeah.
It's amazing how things have changed. I mean, I look at Europe now as like 20, 30, 40 players. They're all capable. You got the Asians, they're coming out the woodwork, and they're all ready to travel again.
Yeah, good to see them back. Chung breaking, nice break. I like this.
Yep.
Made the 1 straight in the side and good cue ball. Just a little unfortunate to have the 3-4 together, but that's what you can expect too from breaking from the side.
That's the beauty of this side rail break. Alvin is 1 set up against Riku. I think 2-2 in the second.
Good safety. And then also put the 2 ball to where it's not nice and easy to access from almost every way just because of the 7 and the 5. This is a pretty good trap.
Yeah, I've started telling myself now that I need to get tighter behind balls. Even if I'm taking a risk by leaving the ball, I'm telling myself, try and get these guys tight behind the balls because they're so fascinated with jumping the ball these days. I feel like the younger generation don't kick so good. So I'm thinking, right, try and use my strengths a little bit more and just try and take that little bit more risk and get tight against the balls. Where in the past, I'd just leave distance, you know what I mean? Because guys like Efren and Buster Marty, you very rarely see them jump, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's definitely changed now. So I'm starting to change the way I'm thinking or playing safe a little bit also.
And this way was tough to hit the ball for Sanjin. Went for the zigzag and missed it. And this is also a possible 3-foul rack.
Yeah.
If he can tie him up the same way like he did with the 6 to the 7, to where he doesn't leave the 1 rails, and maybe the 2 with the.
And he might, yeah.
Oh well, this is not strong.
That though. I mean, that's terrible. That is. I mean, he walked the 2 against the 3 and the purple, the 4. That's what he was doing, but he just babied it.
Well,
he just babied the
shot.
Yeah,
he underhit both sides. If you look at the cue ball 2, he's not even close to sticking to the 7. So that's.
Yeah, he was trying to get tight behind the 7 and get the 2 behind the 3 and the 4, because then obviously he'll have been in a great situation to get the free foul rule. The chances of getting ball in hand here is very, very slim, unless it comes around the back of the 2.
Well, especially with the 2 ball being so close to the short rail, players can find the spot to hit the short rail. Almost made it. And well, hasn't left. Something on the 10 ball, but that could have been worse.
Yeah,
but also on the other side, he opened up the 4-3, which was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like opening. I think it is a combo. It's not. Yeah. He has to get on it though, for sure. He has to get on there. He has to get on them.
If he gets straight on the 3-4, it's a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, and it's sort of laying nicely, really. And again, we've seen him play these shots really well so far. Again.
Yeah. Just doesn't want to end up on the rail. That would be. Sometimes, but no, it's perfect.
Yeah, he couldn't really put that any better with your hand. So yeah, he's played all those type of shots beautifully, hasn't he? He's just made like just some weird mistakes.
If you just look at the last safety shot he's played, that's how I would describe to people how he was feeling so far. You know, is okay, hit that a little thick, but still goes in. And actually, it left himself a nice angle on the 3 to go to the center of the table for the 5. You see again, hit a little thick, banked the 4 ball into the rail, but it still went.
Yeah, it's turned out pretty good actually.
The only thing I'm very interested in his playing style is that, or one of the things I'm interested in is like his demeanor around the table, his speed stays the same. So even though he's struggling, he still keeps having the same rhythm, and he doesn't want to take more time, or he just does the same thing. I like that.
Yeah, he has good pace around the table, good demeanor, and that's very important for all you guys out there. Try and command the table when you're at the table. Don't be tentative, don't be scared. Don't be thinking, play a little bit quicker or a little bit slower because you're on the big stage or whatever. You just got to stick to your own rhythm and dominate the table, really. Just make it your space. And that's what these guys do really well.
Yeah, hit that nice little inside spin, little left spin on that to make sure you wouldn't get close to the 7.
And all the top guys, they all have their own little thing when they're under pressure, that one might take that extra walk around the table like a Joshua Filler. One might just put the chalk in the same spot on the table just to remind themselves that they're going to walk around and grab it. Just all little things what a lot of these guys have when they're under pressure.
What do you do?
I drag my cue around the table. People tell me, like, when I'm playing well, I start dragging my cue around the table when I'm walking around. And I stick my tongue out a little bit, I think. So I guess they're the 2 things for me.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can cut the 9. Can either play with inside 2 rails or can play a little outside and go 3 rails. Just depends. I expected him to play this way like he did before.
Yeah, I think if we were playing on the same table all year and we know exactly how it's playing, like your table at home, for example, you probably play that 3 rails. Because you're not 100% sure how it's going to react off the second rail, you just play the safer option.
And we'll go for a short break. Stay tuned. We're back here. Chung leading 2-1 over Sanjin Pehlivanovic, ready to break the balls here in rack number 4. Sanjin has been looking a little struggling here. There, both players have been shooting great shots and then been struggling on the others, so could go anywhere, and got lucky to have the 4-ball kissed. And
he put a ball. Ball down right.
Well, and that 9-ball just got a little awkward there. Just blocks the pocket enough for the 1, but also the 9 is on the rail, so it's a tough combination.
Yeah, I think the 1 does go past. Will it go off the 9 if it's into the point? Where's that 9-ball? Yeah, I think he's okay, Tim. You know, if he plays the 1 into the, even if it's the point, it'll hit the 9 and going off the 9. If he plays it, punches it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the 2 does pass the 6.
I think it does pass the 6, but I don't think the 3 ball.
Yeah.
Well, he might have to cheat the pocket on the 3, but it looks tough.
Yeah, another tough layout. Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought you had to hit that quite hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus he hit it a bit too thin anyway.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a tough start, you know. The layouts are not scrappy, but just a little bit more difficult, and you can really see that
this is a part of the game what's great though, isn't it? I mean, I was bored to death of just watching people with a magic wrap making 2 balls on the break, they're straight in on the 1 ball, running out. The 9 ball events, what was playing with the 1 on the spot, they're making 3 balls on the break, and it's just easy, you know what I mean? It's just boring. Well, this is pull, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm way more interested into the moving side of the game than just the running out.
Yeah, I mean, now you're looking, for people watching at home, this is perfect because you learn more about the game, you understand the safety side, why he's played that shot, and you can see that these guys are all human as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So he's jumping here. Tough cut. I would actually not try to make it, maybe get safe behind the 6,
wow.
But he went all in, and it's quite unfortunate not to open up the 3.
Yeah, you got to say he's definitely had the worst roll of the ball in this match out of the 2.
If you just look, if you run into the 8, how is he going to go not far enough on the short rail to run into the 5-3?
That's tough to not break those balls after hitting that 8 ball.
He hit that great. And
but he's at the table. He's got a good chance.
Yeah, he can play a good safety here. Luck, go up. Get it froze on the 5 ball though.
Too thin.
Yeah, too thin. Or was he trying to cheat the pocket? No.
No, he wasn't trying to make it. I'm just saying he hit it too thin. He was trying to get the cue ball behind the 5.
Just like 2 balls off. That's why I'm wondering like what exactly was he was trying.
He hit it way too hard as well. He was a bit nervous shot.
Yeah, so.
But it's hard to explain to people at home. Like the people at home are watching, thinking, "Oh, how's he played? What's that shot there?" But when you're out there, this table is lightning. I can't explain to you how fast and how slick this table is. So if you're not really timing the ball well or very comfortable, this table will make you look silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also this again, like he would have liked to have quite some angle on the 5, and now he's got in between, long shots, little angle.
Yeah, because on his own table at home, he would never be in that position, ever. But on these tables, you're thinking, oh, do I hit it? Don't hit it too soft, don't hit it too hard, and then you end up twitched in between. If you're flying and you're playing great and you're hitting the ball exactly the way you want to hit it, everything's easy. But if you're slightly off on these tables, they catch you out.
Yeah, so big stun, little left.
He plays that shot so well, Tim. It's unbelievable. He might play that shot better than
I mean,
anybody
it's just
I've
so
seen.
smooth. I mean, I probably would punch this ball too much if I look at this.
Look
like
at
I might have to switch some stuff.
Yeah,
Like
it's difficult to
striking
explain how
those
well
really
he's
good.
just hit that ball to people at home.
And again, such a big swing too. Like really, Sanjin had the chance to turn this rack around to maybe get into a 2 each.
And
now
this is a loser side match, right? So there's no second chance here. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, really? What a tough sport we play.
Yeah, he's got perfect on the 8. We'll probably draw back a ball or 2 and go around the angles on the 9 ball.
But what I will say is if he wins this rack and goes up 3-1, if he is to progress in this match, he needs to step up his game if he wants to go deep in this tournament. I will definitely say that.
I'm also surprised he put himself so, well, kind of straight on the 9.
Yeah.
Like he's not feeling great.
Yeah.
Still going to punch the angle out. Oh, no, he's good. And this is to go on the double hill. Coping Chung. 3-1 up over Sanjin Pehlivanovic. Yeah, and things are looking not so good for Sanjin now. And especially also how he's changed his demeanor around the table. If you compare it to from set 1 to set 2, I would not favor him to get back into the second set, which we had in the first set. First set we were like, well, he might be able to still get in it. Now I'm not too sure about it.
Well, so I think earlier in the match I did say out the 2. I think obviously Co's are more experienced. I think he's a bit more calmer when things are not going well. Sanjin's still got to learn and progress and improve on that side of the game, the mental game, let's say, because he still hasn't consistently played on the big stage as much as, let's say, a Coping Chung. But I've no doubt in time he's going to get there. But if I was Sanjin's coach, obviously that's the big thing I'd be teaching him, is the mental side of the game, because obviously as a player we know how hard it is, and how sometimes you just beat yourself. I do it myself. Yeah. Probably more so in recent times because my game's not as good as it used to be, so you're very hard on yourself. And sometimes it's embarrassing when you're not playing well, you know what I mean? Especially when you know what you can do and you just can't play to that level. It's very frustrating. So yeah, I think that's something he needs to work on, but I believe he'll get there. I think he's... If someone said to me 3 years ago, do you think he could be world champion? I'd probably say I'm not too sure. But like looking at him now, I think he's
changed.
He's definitely got potential. I think he's a future Mosconi Cup player. He just needs to improve that mental side of the game. And I'm not talking loads. I'm just talking small details at this level.
Yeah. No, it's... We're not saying he's a bad player. Just he could step up even more.
Yeah.
So he might have to run into the 7, use the 7 to come back up.
Yep, and this is the rack to win the match. He might even just play follow and maybe kiss the 7 and come back up table. With
can he still spin out of there?
Yeah, he's
okay. He could.
Well, yeah, that was deceiving from my view.
Well, the only thing I'm wondering, does that 7 ball does go, so...
Yeah, and even if it doesn't, the 6 is laying pretty good if he gets the right side.
I mean, the layout has been pretty good after his break as well. Might probably have to push the 6 ball a little bit from here, though, to still get straight on the 3.
He also could play the 5 past the 9. Like you said, I don't like that. Right? Yeah, I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking old school, just keep the game simple. Of course, I would have liked that 6 into the side, but it's okay if he gets a good angle on the 6. And obviously the 7 ball must pass the 10, so otherwise there's no way he would have played that shot, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, if the 7 ball only went to one corner, he would not have done that.
So this rack's really about 2 shots, really.
Get from the 5 a nice angle to the 6. And I mean, still some cue ball movement, which we have seen that they struggled a couple times with. So
yeah, he's not guaranteed out, that's for sure. It's not a gimme.
Okay, that's good. Nice angle.
Right here, he wants to make sure he don't leave too short. But even if he goes too long and lands straight on the 6, it's not a disaster, because the 7 does go in the opposite side corner. Sorry. So he'd like to not leave too much angle.
Well, he was tapping the table. No, I think it's good.
Yeah, the way
he doesn't have to get straight on the 7. He can leave himself a little higher, just stun off the real little right and leave some angle on the 7 to come back up.
And we've seen how well he plays these type of shots, so I don't see any problem here.
Just doesn't want to get on the rail. That's no, he's still okay. He can jack up the cue a little bit. Just if he would get on the rail, he only had the option to go forward, which you don't like here.
Yeah, I still don't think he's played that well. I think he didn't get into the cue ball as much as he would like there. So he's made it a little bit tricky. It still requires a good shot here.
Yeah, maybe just use the second rail, low right.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Well, he played it 1 rail. I think it's so sensitive. Like you see, like it's so sensitive, he almost scratched. Like he got kind of close.
If that cue ball was on line to the side pocket, he probably would have scratched, right? It's only because he slightly just missed the side pocket. If that was going towards the side pocket, I think it reaches the side pocket, and that could have easily done.
I mean, the table rolled straight, so it was like he really put a little bit too much spin on there, or not enough. But
in the end, it turned out good.
He's played a good 9 ball here in this 10 ball to stay alive in this tournament. FargoRate Ohio Open. Coping Chung wins 2-0 against Sanjin Pehlivanovic from Bosnia and advances to the next round. With me in the booth was Darren Appleton. Thank you, Darren.
Cheers,
good luck
Tim.
in your next match.
Really enjoyed it. I think I'm next on, so hopefully I give a good account of myself and you don't criticise me too much.
Yeah, good luck.
I enjoyed the match. It wasn't the best standard, but it was still entertaining. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in at 2 p.m. My name was Tim de Ruyter, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.